In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the front hub assemblies on this Volkswagen Jetta TDI wagon. These are going to be located behind the front wheels. Let's get into it. In the back, we're going to pull this cover up. And then there's a cover underneath here. You want to pull that up as well. And you want to find the tool kit that comes with your vehicle for the spare tire. And you're looking for this hook or a hook that looks very similar to that. Grab that. Now take the caps off, just use the hook. Right in the center, pull those off. Using a 17mm socket, we're going to take the lug bolts out. Before I take the last one out, I'm just going to hold the wheel on so it doesn't fall. Grab the wheel, pull it off. We're going to remove the caliper and the bracket together. Use a 21mm socket. Loosen up these bolts and take these off. Right there. There we go. Take those off. Pull the caliper off. And I'm going to use a hanger. And we're just going to hang it from the coil spring out of the way. Now using a T30 socket, take the screw out and pull the rotor off. Now we're going to remove the axle bolt. If you have the stock bolt in there, you're going to need a 24mm 12-point socket. This one's been replaced before, so we're going to use a 27mm socket. Take that off. Now just take the axle. You want to push that back. You can push this out of the way a little bit. You can access the bolts. If you need to, you could take the lower ball joint nuts off and then separate this so you can have more room if you don't have enough room there. We're going to use a M12 triple square socket. Take these bolts out. Pull that out. And do the same for the other ones. Now loosen these up. Those are all out. Now just take a hammer and just hit it from the back side. Just separate it. This is seized in there a little bit more than normal, so what we're going to do is put some of the old bolts back in and try to push it through that way. Old bolt, get that started. And you can try hitting it with a hammer. I'm going to use an air hammer. There we go. You can see it separating from the knuckle. You can put another bolt in if you need to. There we go. That's loose. Take the bolts out. And there's the hub assembly. I'm just going to use a wire brush, just clean up some of the rust. Be careful, there is the ABS sensor or the wheel speed sensor. You don't want to get that. If you're worried about that, you can just pop that out so it's not in your way. But I'm just going to work around that. All right, looks good. And take a thin coat of anti-seize and just where the hub's going to sit. Just give it a thin coat just to prevent future corrosion. And I'll take the new hub, line that up, and just push it in place. There you go, that's good. Take one of the new bolts, get that started. All right, that's good. I'll put the bolts in, get those all started. One's on the back side as well. Just move the axle out of your way. All right, those are all started. And we can snug those down. Those are all snug. Now we're going to torque these to 52 foot-pounds, and then you're going to go an additional 90 degrees. If you have a torque angle meter, use that. If not, do the best you can. All right, that's about 90 degrees. Move on to the next one. 52, and then 90. Good. Degrees. All right, there we go. Those are torqued. Now take the axle, get that lined up. I'm gonna have to turn the hub a little bit. Then push that in. Now we're going to install the bolt. This new bolt happens to be a ribbed bolt. The torque is going to be different whether you have a ribbed one or a flat one like that. So keep in mind that before you put it in. Get this snug down. Just snug that down. We'll torque that later. I'm going to use a little anti-seize, just a thin coat. Going to prevent corrosion in the future. And put the rotor on. Make sure this hole lines up with the small threaded hole right there. Get the screw started. Just snug that down. Take the caliper off the hanger. Slide this over the rotor. I take the bolts, get those started. Caliper bracket bolts. Snug these down. Torque these bolts to 148 foot-pounds. In the event that you actually disconnected the ball joint from the control arm to get a little more space, it's a good idea to go have the alignment checked or have the alignment performed after you're done. Now there's two steps to torquing this bolt. We're gonna start by torquing it to 52 foot-pounds. To prevent this from moving, I'm just taking a Phillips head screwdriver, just putting it through the fins of the rotor, and then the caliper is gonna stop it from spinning. 52 foot-pounds. All right, that's good. Now we need to put the wheel on, lower the vehicle down while it's on the ground, then we have to go an additional 90 degrees. If you have the smooth bolt that doesn't have the ribs, you want to torque that to 147 foot-pounds, and then when you go to tighten the angle, you're going to go 180 degrees. Before we put the wheel on, because we need to access the bolt, we're going to take off the center cap. I'll just take a screwdriver, it doesn't matter what type, and just the back side, just tap the cap off, pops right out. Put the wheel up. Get this lined up. And get the bolt started. That's started. Snug those down. Now we're going to drop the vehicle down. Now we're going to go our additional 90 degrees. If you have a torque angle meter, you can use that. If not, do the best you can. All right, 90 degrees. Now you can put the center cap on, just pop it on. Now we're going to torque the lug bolts to 89 foot-pounds in a cross pattern to tighten the wheel down evenly. Just go around again, double check. Put the caps on. Just line them up, push them down. And you're good to go.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.